It Ends With Us, based on Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel, was eagerly anticipated by fans and newcomers alike. The film's premise, a deep dive into the complex dynamics of domestic violence, promised an emotionally charged experience. With Blake Lively as the lead, backed by a soundtrack featuring heavyweights like Lana Del Rey and Ethel Cain, and directed by Justin Baldoni, the film had all the elements to be a profound cinematic success. However, despite its potential, It Ends With Us falls short in key areas, leaving viewers with a sense of what could have been rather than what is. Let's start with Blake Lively, who portrays the protagonist, Lily Bloom. Lively's performance is perhaps the most polarizing aspect of the film. On one hand, she brings a level of authenticity and vulnerability to Lily that is commendable. Her portrayal captures the nuances of a woman who has endured trauma, particularly in her subtle expressions and mannerisms. This approach lends a raw, genuine quality to Lily's character that could have been the film's emotional anchor. However, Lively's performance also has significant shortcomings. While there are moments where she almost captures the depth of Lily's character, she ultimately fails to sustain this emotional connection throughout the film. The result is a portrayal that feels inconsistent, as if Lively is grasping for something just out of reach. This inconsistency makes it difficult for the audience to fully invest in Lily's journey, leaving a sense of disconnect between the character and the viewer. From a visual standpoint, It Ends With Us is undeniably stunning. The cinematography is one of the film's strongest suits, with Baldoni employing handheld camera work and naturalistic lighting to create a raw, intimate atmosphere. The use of close-up shots and intimate camera angles draws the viewer into the character's emotional states, making the film feel grounded and relatable. Yet, while the visuals are striking, they cannot compensate for the film's narrative weaknesses. The direction, though ambitious, often feels disjointed. Baldoni's attempt to blend the heavy themes of trauma and domestic violence with a visually poetic style results in a film that struggles to find its footing. The narrative structure, in particular, is problematic. It hints at greater potential, but this potential is never fully realized, leaving the audience frustrated with what feels like a series of missed opportunities. The soundtrack, featuring songs by Lana Del Rey and Ethel Cain, is another standout element of the film. The music adds an emotional layer to the narrative, enhancing the film's overall atmosphere. However, there are times when the soundtrack overshadows the dialogue, making it difficult to engage with the characters' conversations. This is particularly problematic in a film where the emotional depth of the characters is meant to be the driving force. While the music is undeniably beautiful, its overpowering presence at times detracts from the narrative rather than complementing it. One of the most significant issues with It Ends With Us is its narrative and characterization. The film's plot, which revolves around Lily's relationships with Ryle Kincaid and Atlas Corrigan, feels one-dimensional. While we are shown Lily's dramatic backstory and the troubling similarities between her relationship with Ryle and her parents' tumultuous marriage, these elements are not explored in a way that truly draws the audience in. Lily's character, in particular, lacks the depth needed to make her relatable or memorable. Her struggles are presented more as a narrative requirement than as a lived experience, making it hard for viewers to fully immerse themselves in her journey. The film barely allows the audience to process Lily's traumatic past before thrusting her into a whirlwind romance with Ryle, which feels rushed and superficial. This lack of character development makes it difficult to believe in the supposed deep love between Lily and Ryle, further undermining the film's emotional impact. The reintroduction of Atlas into Lily's life is intended to create conflict, but instead, it feels like a mere plot device rather than a meaningful part of the story. Atlas's character is underdeveloped, and his relationship with Lily lacks the depth and complexity needed to make it compelling. Additionally, the film's pacing exacerbates these issues. At 2 hours, the film feels unnecessarily long and repetitive, with an inconsistent pacing that leaves key moments feeling rushed while others drag on without adding much to the story. One of the most glaring criticisms of It Ends With Us is the missed opportunity to fully explore the themes of domestic violence and trauma. While the film attempts to address these issues, it does so in a way that feels superficial and, at times, pretentious. The dialogues, which should have been the vehicle for conveying the weight of these themes, often come across as forced and lacking in authenticity. This pretentiousness makes it difficult to take the characters seriously and detracts from the overall impact of the story. Moreover, the film's marketing was a significant misstep. The story of It Ends With Us revolves around domestic violence, yet this crucial aspect was not adequately communicated to potential viewers. As a result, many viewers were taken by surprise during the movie, and not in a good way. The failure to properly market the film's core themes not only led to viewer dissatisfaction but also undermined the film's potential to raise awareness about the serious issues it sought to address. Given the film's shortcomings, there has been considerable interest in seeing a director's cut of It Ends With Us. Many believe that the version released to the public represents the producer's vision rather than Baldoni's true intent. A director's cut could potentially address the film's pacing issues, deepen the character development, and offer a more authentic portrayal of domestic violence, much like the book did. Whether or not this cut will ever be released remains to be seen, but for now, the film as it stands is a missed opportunity to fully engage with its source material's powerful themes. In conclusion, It Ends With Us is a film that had the potential to be a powerful and emotionally resonant adaptation of Colleen Hoover's novel. While it boasts strong performances from its cast, particularly Blake Lively, and features impressive cinematography and a haunting soundtrack, these elements are not enough to overcome the film's significant narrative and pacing issues. The result is a film that, while visually stunning, ultimately feels shallow and unfulfilling. For those who have not read the book and are looking for a film that tackles heavy themes with emotional depth, It Ends With Us may still offer some resonance. However, for viewers seeking a more nuanced and compelling portrayal of trauma and relationships, the film is likely to disappoint. As it stands, It Ends With Us joins the ranks of book-to-film adaptations that fail to live up to their source material's potential, leaving viewers wondering what could have been if the film had dared to delve deeper into its dark and complex themes.